is one of the problems we are going to be tackling, and this is what we are coming here to do today. Please come up. This is just an example of the polar ice, where this polar bear, this is where they live in ice. And when the ice are melting, they dispel them. It's not just the animals that are suffering. The thing is getting closer to us now. Please go up. This is permafrost. It's just describe the layers. They're even here in Nigeria. It's not just road. There is a layer under earth that is very cold and ice. At least I've grown up with my grandmother in the south, and I used to follow her to farm. There are some parts of the earth that is very cold. Early morning, I'll follow her to farm. She will not say, go and take this water somewhere. That water will be as cold as if you put it inside fridge. But now, we can hardly see those kind of places again, even here in Nigeria. Let's go. We've discussed this. This is Nigeria. This is Nigeria, not Nigeria. When the flood happened in the Yola, the Benue River displaced some people from their homes, and their farm produce were destroyed. The rice they planted were destroyed, and all of that. And this is all the effects of the change that is going to quickly. Like I said before, it's not because the change is bad, because naturally, when the earth is revolving around the sun, it causes change. It changes our landforms. You see all these hills, these mountains, it's as a result of the earth movement. So there's a change already on the earth, but this change was supposed to be slow, at some pace, manageable. But right now, because of what we went to go and do, we wanted to help ourselves. We wanted to power airplanes, power cars, power our industries. We went and we discovered oil, and we dug it out. That crude and coal is supposed to stay in there. It is not renewable. The one we cut from trees is renewable. The fire you burn trees from is renewable. You can avoid that one. There's the recycling that can help you renew that energy. But if the one you're digging to produce crude oil, to run your engines, run your plane, that one is not renewable. Some time ago, 2 years ago in Port Harcourt, I don't know if you're still facing that, but there was a time in Port Harcourt where, I don't know how many of you know Port Harcourt. We have a lot of oil plants there, and there's gas flame in the atmosphere, burning excess gas that has been released into the atmosphere. This burning also released huge amounts of coal to the atmosphere that gets trapped in the cloud. It came down to them. There was a time if you are going out in Port Harcourt, you will be, the things you are telling, you can see it visibly on your nose. It's just like here in Abuja where you walk around where there's dust and you are seeing dust over. You could see the fog, you could see the coal, like charcoal on your arm. You can see it on your palm, you can see it on your, like, people were afraid of staying in Port Harcourt because it was like no more rocket science. You are not hearing it from a far distance again. It's now here with us. And the solution is for us to just forget about coal. I know most of us will be asking, I want us to forget about coal. How are we going to drive our cars? How are we going to power our factories? Right now we have more energy sources. And we trap that energy, we can take advantage of this sun that is already too exposed to our planet. And that is the solar panel. Let us drive down to the solution, because I just want to summarize this. Number one is we take advantage of renewable energy. Instead of coal and oil, we can use solar panels, wind turbines to generate the same electricity without harming the climate. This used to be very expensive, but the technology now is made it more cost-effective than coal and oil, even without taking the climate into consideration. Now, this image here is a grid for electric power supply. India have already started doing this. They have, instead of building power plants that will be using energy from Kainji Dam, which is still invading into that particular ecosystem. We can just replace those power plants with this grid. We just install inverter batteries. Before we used to wonder how we're going to keep that energy sustainable, because it's not all the time that sun shines. In the night, you will not see sun. And then during rainy season, there's less sunlight. But thank God, scientists have now evolved and they have developed batteries where we can store these energies. So now, most people in Abuja, they use inverter to power their homes. They are not even looking at the national grid anymore. Please go up. This is the power storage. Some people use this in their homes. You can see, just go up. Now, please come a bit. Yes, okay. Now, it's the same technology that this electric car is using. We're talking about sustainable transportation system. We can replace our gasoline cars with our solar powered cars with the aid of these batteries. Before we used to talk about, oh, these cars don't go far. But now technology has evolved that we have increased the capacity of this battery. This car can go as long as 500 kilometers and you won't even have any problem. And it's not even expensive. That is the funny aspect. We think this thing is very expensive, so we just avoid buying it. Because I'm into real estate, I'm also into this automobiles too. I know their prices. This car right now is cheaper than most of the cars we buy to fuel crude and drive. This car is now up to 50 million naira. But I see some people will be using 200 million to buy a car, and they'll still go and queue at the fuel station to fuel it. This car, if you Google it, you are going to see that places in Lagos, Abuja, they're already driving electric cars. So let's go. Let's continue. There's another technology that the advanced countries have imbibed. The thing is, Africa emits just 1% of carbon into the atmosphere. They contribute just 1% of the whole global warming. So we have responsibility to tackle it based on how we contribute to it. Then the advanced countries, they have more ambitions, more responsibility, more capacity to tackle it. So they have developed this technology of sucking down the carbon. They suck the carbon from the atmosphere and put it back, store it. These are the storage plants. They just suck it. All the carbon that have been polluting the atmosphere from industrial processes, they suck it down and to the air and store it here. Let's go. The next is afforestation. She talked about it. She's already going about implementing it even from the younger generation. And then the next one is we have to invite sustainable agricultural system. This is going to more climate-friendly cattle raising. You know, cattle used to be the animals that emit methane into the atmosphere, also a greenhouse gas that is depleting the atmosphere. And agriculture came up with their own technology, and they employed this method of climate-smart agricultural system. We are right here. CSA is an integrated approach to managing landscape, cropland, livestock, forest, and fisheries that address the interlinked challenges of food security and climate change. You can see in this picture, when I was growing up with my grandma, I noticed that the local way of farming is they would just cut down everything, then still burn it again. They don't want any grass to be there. I feel like when there's grass, it's choking the crops. So sustainable agricultural system is about still letting grass be on the field, but then in levels that cannot affect the crop. The landscape are not left bare, because when you expose the land, the heat of the sun gets into the crust quickly and dries up that place, and that leads to drought. Then you will not have your crop increased yielding much. Some of them will even die. At the end of the day, there will still be food shortages. So this method itself is like it's like leaching, where you still let the grass cover the earth. Let me bring it so that I can see it very well. I was going through it and I saw something very, very important, and I think I should share it with all of us. There's a company here that is into solar grid. They're not the only companies anyway, but they are lucky they came into this book right now. You have the opportunity to see them. The technologies now have increased. People are building their own power plants and selling the power. They are not just doing it for their homes alone, they are selling the power. You can just go and pay them money, they'll be supplying you electricity in your house. You will not be waiting for them to bring you light again and not bring you light. Some have never used inverter before in their life. They have never walked into a place that has inverter. And it's because of lack of awareness. They think this thing is rocket science and it is very expensive, but it's not expensive. It's more economical than the ADC supply from the hydroelectric grid. So, that being said, you talk to that your friend, that your neighbor, talk to your wife, talk to your children. They will talk to other people too. Bring the money out, go and donate, or invest in those NGOs that are primarily after protecting our climate. Let them have more money to carry these solar panels to villages that cannot afford it. Like our coordinator was saying, she said we'll be going to villages to visit places that don't even have any knowledge about climate change, that we're going to go with something. This is one of the something they will go with. Because you can't be preaching renewable energy and then you don't have anything to show. You have to give them alternative means, and this is the alternative means. These people use kerosene, which is still part of the crude we are trying to take back to the atmosphere, to the air crust, I mean. So if we give them this, they cannot afford this. But by donating, you can help another person that doesn't know you. And helping another person is helping yourself. Remember I told you before that we are in the same boat. It's as if we are in a leaking boat. If we do not seal the leak, all of us will crash. You might think that it has not come to you yet, but as you are seeing it already, it's already close. Let's go. And last but not the least, you invest in real estate companies that embraces and understand the concept of sustainable cities and communities. One of 17 Sustainable Development Goals established by the United Nations General Assembly in 2015. The aim is to make cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. You might be thinking, what's sustainable about this? Sustainability is just about using something in a way that you will leave it behind for another person to come and use it. The result of everything will be that we will all live longer, you will even earn some money in returns of your investment. And most importantly, the younger generations and your children unborn will have a safe and healthy planet to live in. When we finally take a bow, we will be proud that we did not harm the earth, we left it for other people to come and enjoy.
I am Adekola Juliana. I am the National Secretary of the Nigeria Climate Change Summit. I am from Lagos State, and we are here right in Abuja for the Nigerian Climate Change Summit. We are here to give you awareness about what is affecting the climate of our dear country. Climate change is affecting everybody harmfully. Why? Because of you and I. We need to mitigate every problem that is ongoing. This awareness summit has been ongoing since yesterday. It's a 2-day program and we are rounding off today to ensure that we move right from here to different states, into the LGAs, and then to the grassroots, because everyone must hear about this program. So, climate change is needed to be affected by you, because if we do not handle the climate the right way, if we do not preserve our nature, then there is trouble for all.
I am Dr. Njaku Adesha-Rice, the National Convener for Nigeria Climate Change Summit. Today is the second day of the 2-day summit, and thus far we've done great. We've been able to reach out to ministries, organizations, and every person who is a stakeholder as it pertains to the climate, whether in the sea, air, or environment generally. And then we have been able to address some issues about how to get across to students, how to get across to the people in the villages, and how to get around the whole states of the nation. By the grace of God, we will be in Lagos on the 14th and 15th of this same month, February 2024. Please, it is still our continuation of the summit. It's also going to be a 2-day summit, whereby we are still extending the good news of climate change, its effect, and how to make it easy for us all to go through the process without getting too much damage to our health, and of course, without knowledge. People wouldn't know what to do. That is the essence of our awareness summit. We want everyone that is concerned about climate to come join us with us. Let's make some noise and get the news across to the nation.